name is Heidi Carmichael and I'm a certified career coach at Reach Your Destination. Thank you for joining me for this short training video on interviewing. I hope that you find lots of great information from different hiring managers through this process.
Hi, I'm Tim Maupin, owner of TDM&Associates, an executive search firm. I'd like to make a few points in regards to interviewing to help you prepare for your upcoming interview. First of all, what I look for in the initial interview, the first thing is good presentation. Has the candidate dressed appropriately for the job they are interviewing for? For example, if it's maybe it's a blue collar position, no need to wear a suit and tie. Executive level, suit and tie is going to be much more appropriate. We look for the nonverbals as we're interviewing. We look for good eye contact. We look for posture. Is the candidate sitting up? Do they lean forward? All demonstrations of the person's energy level and how they're going to react in the job force. Did the candidate demonstrate good listening skills? Very important as I'm asking questions. I'm watching how the candidate absorbs the information and then how they respond back to me. Do the answers to my questions seem canned or are they genuine? If a candidate comes in too quickly with the answers, a lot of times they've rehearsed so much that we can kind of pick up that they aren't a genuine answer. Do they answer the questions succinctly and to the point? Or do they ramble on and on and on? Again, very important as we're determining the qualifications of the individual. It's very important for us to have the candidate understand the knowledge of the company that they'll be talking to, as well as the industry that that company works in, and in particular the product line that that company manufactures or sells. So doing research ahead of time is certainly important. Another point that is very important to interviewers is the storyline. As each candidate has moved on, whether it's a career move or a company move, did those moves make sense? Were they progressions up the career ladder? Or was there a lot of lateral moves being taken? And then the question obviously would be, why were those moves taken? Now you're about to see an actual video of some of our questions as we've interviewed a candidate in our offices, and you'll get an idea of questions that are asked. Hi Tom, welcome to our office today. First of all, can you tell me what you know about our company?
I know that your company helps individuals with career coaching and outplacement for organizations. You've been doing this for quite some time now, and you've got some newer people on your staff that have been doing it for a few years. They're very exceptionally experienced, I noticed, in dealing with people as well as their credentials and whatnot. I noticed you've had some good success with getting people placed in other organizations, also with the people I've spoke with that have worked with you. You've come highly recommended. Even people I did not solicit about, they said, hey, you need to talk to these people. Who is it? Oh, you need to talk to Julie or whatever. I heard that multiple times from people, and I told her that yesterday as well when I spoke with her. So,
good. Tom, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Give me an idea of what you've been doing for the past couple of years.
Science and Aerospace Engineering, and a Master's in Business Administration specializing in corporate strategy and economics. I have over 10 years of manufacturing management experience, and for the past several years I've been working with transformational leadership, helping to facilitate cultural changes within an organization. I primarily work within the quality assurance realm and lean manufacturing practices. Through workshops and other team building exercises, we are typically able to reduce inventory, which helps improve inventory turns, reduce lead times through improved efficiencies, and eliminate waste and reduce variability to improve overall cost. And I was wondering if you thought maybe that there were other organizations out there that might have a need to reduce costs at this time.
Absolutely. Okay, Tom, let's pull out your resume. And if you can walk me through your professional experience, please begin at the educational level and then work your way up to the last position that you've held.
I went to Parks College at St. Louis University. Again, it was Bachelor of Science in Aerospace Engineering. I liked aviation. I originally intended to be a test pilot, but as I got into engineering and started doing other things, my interest diverged. I was in the fraternity, and I'm president of the Greek Council, played some intramural sports there as well. After that, I ended up out in California working with a connection through a fraternity brother actually at an aerospace company as a quality engineer. Out there we built aircraft interiors.
Okay.
At the time we needed to do a transformation for the company by implementing what is now known as AS9100, but at the time Boeing version of that was D19000. And the company needed to restructure, realign their quality management system to be compliant in order to keep the business of Boeing and as well as retain. The next job I had as a quality engineer and quality manager at Dickie John. It was a much smaller company, a little more, I wouldn't say down to earth, sort of a little more personable. There's just about 300 people in the plant, and so it was a little easier to navigate, move around, and get to know people. And also it was home, and that was a real nice aspect of that. My wife and I had opportunities to do things that we wanted to do. Side things, for example, I had bought real estate and did some real estate investing and lived in duplexes and fixed a few up and things of that nature. So that allowed me to achieve that dream. It also allowed our kids now to be around their grandparents. And as soon as I got the kids, I decided I don't need to do the real estate anymore. The people there solicited me or asked me, would you be interested in a lane manager position based on your credentials? Because in the past I had been doing workshops and other team building activities to improve the processes and eliminate the waste and really start facilitating some of the changes within the company. And I kind of accepted it, said that sounds like a great opportunity, you know, an opportunity to do something a little different than quality. Although I had been kind of doing that for a few years already, it was kind of a dual hat of sorts.
Tell me the circumstances behind your departure.
When I first got there, it was owned by a particular equity firm, and they brought in a new wave of management after they sold it to a second equity firm. And at that time, I realized that their business strategy and their leadership styles were a bit different from mine, and I knew that over time that would probably need to find a time to go. And after a few months of the change, we both agreed that was a good time, and so now I'm ready for an opportunity to look for something new.
Good. Okay. Excellent. I've noticed that you have in your resume several accomplishments, major accomplishments sprinkled in along with some other accomplishments. What I'd like you to do, Tom, is take a look at probably the top 3 or 4 and walk me through what those were, identify and walk me through them, and then tell me what your role was in achieving those.
First one about reducing WIP inventory in our fabrication area.
Okay.
The plant in Taylorville was just starting up, and when they got things going, they used an old MRP system which allowed them to produce and balloon their inventory levels in fabrication. They had like 10 to 15 days of inventory, so their turns were relatively low. And there was parts all over the place. They were in the warehouse, they were on the floor, they were stacked on pallets, they were in tractor trailers outside, and it would take a couple hours to locate a part because there was no standard location for these parts. They could be anywhere. And when they looked in their computer system, there would be 5, 6, maybe a dozen locations, and not be in any one of those actually, be in a different location altogether. So what we did is we implemented a Kanban, a production instruction system for those parts, and for the primary 80% of their volume, and reduced that inventory down to like 3 to 5 days for their major movers, and gave them standard locations so that people were able to find and locate the parts on a regular basis and keep control of those inventories. And we were even able to reduce and adjust inventory levels as the economy started slowing down, and also seasonality was also a play in that too. So we were able to keep inventory levels under control and keep our turns up at the same time.